Okay, so we're on page 2 of our graphic organizer. The very first thing I want you to do is what, class?
Put our name.
And today's date is the 22nd. Okay, so we're starting to learn about text structure, and just a quick review, a text structure is just how we organize a text. In the first text structure, if you need to move up closely, you can. The first text structure we're talking about is problem and solution. Problem and solution. So let's talk about the word problem. How would you define in your own words a problem? Braxton? If there is a problem, just a problem in general. If there's a problem, something is, Jada? Could be a bad situation. Is it always a bad situation?
No.
How about if something is everything too easy? Bad, or something that is hard. So hard or difficult situation. I like how some people are taking notes. And I like how people are taking notes quietly. Okay, so with every problem, there's a solution. So how would you define solution? If a problem is something that's difficult, or maybe something bad happened, what would the solution give us? Cordarius. Okay. If a problem is something that is hard or something bad, yeah, it is a conflict, what would the solution give us? The answer. Cordarius. What would the solution give us? The answer. So an answer to make things a lot what?
Easier.
A lot easier. So I'm giving you notes to copy for the problem and solution. And just to reiterate what we had said, we said a problem is just something that is difficult. Sometimes it's a bad situation. Sometimes it's just a situation that's hard. And every problem has a solution. And that solution is our answer. It makes things a lot easier. Braxton, back there. Down. Okay. So now we're going to identify a problem first in our text, and then we're going to come up with our solution. So we just got through reading pages 9 through 10. And since we're close readers, we're going to read one more time. I want you to look at page 9. It looks like this. It starts with for and ends with easier. I want you to identify the problem of this page. Once you have identified it, raise your hand. So whenever you start this answer, you're going to say, according to page 9, it says, and then you're going to tell me, Braylon.
According to page 9, it says, there's so much to conquer. Gravity, skinny ants, brown trunks, and thorns.
That's a good one. And there's a sentence before that, too. That would be an excellent one. Michaela A. Ascending to the canopy is not easy, and I'm going to follow that up with that. So where it says problem, and since it's our notes, we're not going to quote it right away. Actually, we can go ahead and do that. We know that we're referring to page 9. We're going to go off first with what Michaela had said. Ascending.
No, it's not. It's the start of the season.
Ascending to the canopy is not easy. To those of you not talking without my permission, I really appreciate it. And they have to deal with gravity. So Michaela said that one of the problems is that ascending to the canopy is not easy. And then Braylon followed that up with a specific obstacle that they're having to face. They have to face gravity, chances of falling, stinging ants as they climb, rotten trunks, and then, of course, thorns. So that's the problem. The problem is that it's not easy to climb all the way to the canopy. I'm going to give you a minute to finish writing. When you are finished, please put your head down so I know who I'm waiting for. I just put page 9 here. Remember, this is your note catcher. You're not going to really do the according to's until we start writing. No, this is just a preview. Okay, so we identified the problem. Now what I want you to do, you see how I wrote this? I wrote the page number, I put quotations. I want to see if you can find the solution on page 10. Once you identify the solution on page 10, remember it's that thing that makes it easier and solves the problem. I want you to write two ways things have been made easier for the scientists who are climbing. Does that make sense? So I'm going to repeat what I just said. You're going to go to page 10.
Go to page 10.
You're going to identify two solutions that made it a lot easier for the scientists to climb up. And then I want you to quote it right here. Get it? Got it good? I'm going to give you 6 minutes. Again, to those of you who know you shouldn't be talking unless given permission, I really appreciate it. I'm going to start walking around. I know Cordarius has started. I see Jada has started. You're identifying two solutions. Yes, page 10.
Problem. You never learned the solution. You never wrote the problem.
So here's something that Jada had identified. Very first thing she wrote was just the page number that she's getting it from. And then she quoted, better technology has been developed. Does technology make things easier for us?
Yes.
Absolutely. So now she's going to, Cordarius said he's got the same thing. So if you notice, she had put quotation marks around it, and then she told me the specific page she found that on. was just a little bit more specific, and he wrote pretty much the same thing that Jada had written. He cited page 10, and then he put quotation marks around his textual evidence. He said, since the mid-1980s, better technology has been developed. Great minds think alike. So now you're just identifying one more way that it has been made easier for the scientists to ascend the canopy.
Oh my god.
Just the ability.
The second one is just going to be based off of the actual human being. What traits will the scientists have to have in order to ascend the canopy? Yes. Very good. Okay. Here's something that Gabby came up with. You have to be skillfully fit as well as smart and hardworking. If you are not fit, is it going to be easier for you to ascend the canopy? No. And when they mean smart, you have to have a strategy. You have to create a way for you to actually get up it. So that's what I'm looking for. I love that she was able to identify a way for us to ascend the canopy. What are some things that we can do to just tweak this a little bit? Quotation marks. What page? 10. Period, or we put some dots and then quotations. Because, again, we're pulling from the text. Okay? I'm going to leave Michaela's up here just so you can get a better idea. Page 10. Page 10, be strong, fearless, and physically fit, as well as smart and hardworking. Page 9, since the mid-1980s, better technology. So I'm going to give you a minute to finish writing. If you are finished writing your answer down, please put your head down. So we're focusing on the problem and solution. Remember, a problem is just something that is difficult. Sometimes it's a bad situation. Sometimes it's not bad. It's just hard. And the one thing that is hard is that the scientists had a difficult time doing what? Climbing the canopy. Ascending the canopy. Remember, we're 5th graders, so we're going to stop using the word climb now. We're going to use ascend. Right. Makes it sound a lot smart. We're going to ascend the canopy. We found out that it's hard to ascend the canopy. Solution. Come up with a solution. What was one solution? What was one solution, Carly?
One solution was
better technology. What was the second solution, Christopher? That'd be physically fit and fearless and smart. Very good. Okay. So what's going to happen is eventually you're going to take a test. You're going to take a test, and if you think that what you're reading has a problem and solution, you're going to identify the one thing that is hard and then the one thing that's the answer to make it easier. Are we good so far? With problem and solution.